He says, suburban kids have an IQ of 145. Your kids have an IQ of 65.
Oh, no.
So, I listened to what he said, and I told him, I said, really? I said, I want to ask you a question. If those kids in the suburban area were to live or go and visit Bedford-Stuyvesant, how long do you think they'd survive?
The Bedford-Stuyvesant of today, the Bedford-Stuyvesant of today, they'd buy the brownstones and move in. So.
I can answer that question quickly, very quickly, less than a second.
Exactly.
It'd be like, Dad, can we get out of here?
And then
I mean, it's you absolutely correct, and that's why, my kids grow up in South Orange and Maplewood, but I take them into Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You got to have that experience.
Experience, right.
Because if you don't have that experience, it's like when you go away to college.
Mm-hmm.
If you have never left, some people have never really left the confines of this beautiful, diverse community.
Mm-hmm.
You want to walk to the village.
30 blocks here.
Yeah, you want to
Yes,
walk
it's
to the village. Like in this
blocks.
community, they talk about walking to the village. And my son will be like, Dad, can you drop me in the village? I said, drop you? You going?
That's just right down,
you going
down
right
the
walk
hill.
down. You going right 2 blocks. He said, you want me to give you a ride to the village? I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, Dad. I said, no, you're not serious. He said, Dad, what do you mean? I said, look, if you want to go to the village.
Cross the street.
I'll make sure you cross that street right there, and you can walk down that 2 blocks down that road to the village. All right? And when you're coming back, just call me and tell me, Dad, I'm on my way back. I'll come and I'll stand on top of the hill and look at you at the bottom of the hill to make sure you come up the hill safely. How about that? He said, Dad, what do you think this is? I said, I don't think it's nothing.
Right?
But no, other people, you see, they're coming, dropping the kids in the village.
Yeah.
They're all letting the kids off. Let's go to Carvel's Ice Cream. Fridays. Carvel's Ice Cream on Fridays. I'm like, to me, you're not teaching the kids anything.
No, not at all.
So when they go away to college and they get this freedom now, right?
They don't know what to do with it.
They don't know what to do with it. And they get lost in the sauce, as they say. They get lost in the sauce. So I think when you have, this type of program, if you could, it's bringing the kids, the urban kids, out of their
environment, immediate environment,
and for them to understand that, listen, this is something I can aspire to. I'm going into Seton Hall University.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going into these colleges. Oh my God!
Yeah, it's just like you're providing exposure, opening doors, and also showing them the skills, the thing that's already in them, that they have the ability to research and debate and discuss and to find out more information.
And I think this is really, to me, this is an excellent program because it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street for some of the kids who live in suburban America, for them to get out of their confinements and stop looking to Fox and what Fox shows you. It's like what they're showing you going on in Baltimore now. All they're showing you is that people are rioting. But there's so many other peaceful protests going on in Baltimore. And they're not showing you that part. So, you want to show these kids that, listen, you may see things on television, but that's not the real picture. When you go in there, you can say, oh, man. And then, really and truly, if a team from Melbourne is going to debate a team in Bedford-Stuyvesant, like Boys Side, they're going to say, oh, we going to Boys Side.
We got that.
We got it covered, man.
It's lit.
We're going to blow them apart. Because we going to urban, right? It always bothers me while they put a sub in front of urban.
All right, Anselm.
I just wonder how they come up with these things. You never thought about that, right?
I thought about that.
But Mike, with the last 2 minutes we got here, anything else you like to add?
Well, the only thing that I would like to really add is that the program now is making its way into all areas. And the debates that we have in South Orange are open to all students. This week we will have several of the churches coming from different churches, and also we will have several other individuals coming that are associated with school districts. So our objective is very simple. We want to take our kids, make them first-class candidates for college. To when they go into a college, we don't want them to go in with the idea that they're going to have to be nurtured beyond the norm. We want our kids to be able to stand and be able to go toe-to-toe with any youth that are in those schools and be And the parent looked at her and said, "What are you doing that for? You're just going to lose."
Oh, no.
But now the kid came to the coach in tears. And he told her there's only one person that will determine whether you win or lose. He said, and that's you. She went to the debate, and she was fierce. She came back home, and her mother asked her, "Well, did you have enough?" And she said, "No, Mom, I won."
Yeah, man.
And then her mother burst into tears. So there's an education that has to be beyond our youth.
Yeah.
Our parents have to also be educated to the fact that we can succeed and not put impediments in their way.
You know what I do? What I normally do is that most of the people I get in contact, and most of the people, especially the young people that I come in contact with, I tell them to read two books: The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale and The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz. And when I get them to read those books, all they have a different attitude towards a lot of things in life. Because I always said to myself that nothing is impossible. And I said this to Marjorie also. Impossible also means I am possible. Impossible also means I am possible. So I tell them, turn the impossible into I am possible. And I try to tell most of the young folks that I come into contact, because sometimes we tend to look at things from a negative perspective, rather than using the positive. And hopefully most of the kids I come in contact with, I give them these two books, and a lot of times, they do kind of follow along, and they have a different mindset about things. I know coming from urban, America, you need more positive influence because there's already so much negative around you.
Right.
The more positive influence you can get to say that, regardless, you can do that. Not because a person is living in Melbourne or a person is living in Short Hills or Maplewood, South Orange or Livingston, wherever. They may live in a nicer house than you and so forth. But as far as education is concerned, if you dedicate yourself, and I'm going to leave you one of my quotes, because I grew up in one of the poorest areas in Trinidad and Tobago. And I didn't grow up as poor as Marjorie. Marjorie grew up middle class. We used to say where I grew up that we were so poor, they dropped the OR. We were just poor. And this other quote that I always use growing up as a young kid, it says, "Your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become." Your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. And I always looked at that and I said, you know what? Regardless of what anybody say, regardless of what people think, at the end of the day, it's up to me whether I'm going to be successful or not. Mike, I'd like to really thank you for coming in tonight. Again, before we leave, can you give the website and the email address for those listeners out there who may have a son or a daughter who may want to be part of the Solomon Adventures?
Mm-hmm. It's Solomon's, that's all O's, SOLOMONS, Adventures, ADVENTURES, at Solomon'sAdventures.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the email is solomonsAdventures@gmail.com.
Well, I gotta say, Marjorie, you did yourself proud tonight, Marjorie. You know, in order to bring, I know you was trying to get this gentleman here for some time.
Actually, this is through a dear friend of mine, Kevin, his neighbor, who insisted on this. And you're gonna have to meet Kevin. I'm sure he's got a lot to say.
Kevin is your neighbor?
A lot of stuff.
is that your neighbor in South Orange?
No, he's an old friend of mine. Yes.
Your neighbor in South Orange, in Maplewood?
No, he doesn't live in Maplewood. He lives in Orange.
Oh, he lives in Orange. Okay,
yes,
okay.
but he's been many places. So.
Oh, so he introduced you to Mike White.
Exactly.
And he said he has a wonderful program.
Yes, he does.
So yeah,
yes, he did. Yes,
we have to kind of continue discussion, and if we can maybe at some time get one or two of the debaters in here,
yes,
so we can just give them some sort of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
We could also get their parents
see what
listening.
they've learned. And
we could get their
pull them
parents
into our
listening. We could
community
get
here.
their other folks listening as well. That would be helpful to them as well.
I'd be very happy to provide you with some of them.
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
They're really dynamic.
Yeah, and we could actually debate. We could pick a topic, Marjorie, and we could debate them.
No, I'm ready to learn from them.
We could have a debate.
No,
debate
they will win, I'm sure.
I don't think they'll win.
You don't think so?
No, I think I'll win.
Okay, see.
Why would you think they win? Because they're
because
kids.
they've been trained.
I'm going to practice.
Oh, okay.
You have to follow the rules.
Anselm does not follow rules like that, and I'm not good at following rules either. Okay.
You have to follow the rules. Time check. The time is approximately 9:41 p.m. That time check is brought to you by Semper Alexander Computer Consultants. We are to implement cost-effective solutions to fulfill your business need. Semper Alexander for all your computer needs. You can call them at 973-763-2011. That's 973-763-2011. Marjorie, any closing words?
I got a quote of the day.
Oh, you do have a quote of the day.
Yeah, you ready?
Is it a good one?
This is my man Frederick Douglass. I love Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, but you got to diversify here. You can't be coming to one.
And maybe this will go tomorrow because I guess we do have to talk about what's going on in Baltimore at some point and give an update.
Yeah, and you got to hear what some of these people are saying about what's going on in Baltimore.
But
But before we get to that, let me just get to this. let me just do some housekeeping here.
What housekeeping you have to do?
It's time to have some fun and turn back the calendar to 1962 and watch as a spirited Baltimore team, through great song and dance, integrate a TV dance show and achieve her dream of performing. You guessed it, it's Hairspray! Shows May 1st, 2nd, 8th, 9th, 15th, 16th at 8 p.m. and May 3rd and 10th at 2 p.m. at the Bergdorf Theater of Performing Arts. General tickets $25. Call 973-761-8453 or visit thestrollers.org for more information. Don't stay at home. Come play with the Strollers.
So here we are back with you. We're gonna have Marjorie's Somo quote of the day.
Why don't you do your quote of the day first?
You ready? We always do one quote.
Okay, yes, right. Where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and denigrate them, neither persons nor property will be safe.
That's a long one, man.
That's a beautiful quote.
I mean, yeah, it's beautiful, but it's
Don't
long.
ever say anything about Frederick that's not nice.
All right.
Get me upset.
All right. Let me
Did
give
you hear what he said, though? I mean, what a great thing.
It's a great thing. Frederick Douglass was an outstanding man.
Do you want me to read that again to you?
Read it again to me. Please, read it again to me.
Where justice is denied, Where poverty is enforced.
Well, justice, we're talking about Baltimore now.
Where justice is denied.
Poverty is enforced
Where
in Baltimore.
poverty is enforced.
And Ferguson.
Where ignorance prevails.
Okay, yeah.
And where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and degrade them, neither persons nor property will be safe.
Oh, my God.